evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here with me this evening on A1R Psychic Radio and all of the wonderful channels that you can catch us on every Thursday night right here. So how are you all doing? I feel like there has been so much going on. We've come out of eclipse. We had 2 eclipses, and we're just coming out of retrograde and a full moon, and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And it's been kind of a challenging few weeks. I don't know if you have all been feeling that or not, but luckily, we are coming out of Mercury Retrograde later tonight, and that will be all behind us. And, Mercury Retrograde is all about communication. It's all about reflection and, taking the time to look at what it is and reflect about, what we've done and, some of the things that we learned from all of the things that we have been doing in the last few months. And it was a perfect time to do that. However, there was all kinds of really intense energy with the eclipses and the full moon. And I was feeling it. Boy, was I feeling it. And I was purging and releasing, and not all very kindly either. I was ill for a little bit of time during that time. And so, it was really all about, for me, it was about change and transformation and healing. I recently started a new job. And so it was about leaving the old one behind and starting new. So big changes of transformation. And there's other things going on with me where there's big transformation. It feels like everything just kind of hung for so long. And then all of a sudden, wham, it's like a tidal wave and everything is happening all at once. And so I thought it fitting tonight to pick a card for everybody out there who is listening tonight. So picking a card for universally for everybody out there listening. And guess what card I selected? Yep, you guessed it. Transformation. The transformation card, it's a picture of a beautiful tree with lots and lots of colors on it. The sun setting in the background, right? So everything, it's about change. It's about something ending and something new beginning. And I just thought that it was actually perfect for where we are right now and where we are going to. So all of the things that you've been thinking about, all of the plans that you've been making, maybe you were thinking about starting a new business, or maybe you were thinking about, starting a class or doing something. Now that retrograde is over, it's a perfect time to start that, right? It's like you've reflected on everything that you've done, you've put all of that to rest, let it go, and now it's time for something new, transformation. And even, just taking a look at your life and, even changing one little minor thing, right? So I just have to read you the excerpt. So the card I picked was from the Peace Oracle guidebook. And it says, from little seeds grow trees, and a little change, great change flows. And that's really it. It's just about making a small change in our lives. It doesn't even have to be anything significant. And it just can change everything else around you. It can change your perspective. It can change your outside view of things. And so just by making small shifts, it can make a difference in the bigger scope of things. So as you guys are out there looking at some of the things that you might want to change and shift for yourself, or to start new, to start a new beginning. You know, think about that tree and about that seed and planting that seed and how long it takes for something to sprout up through the ground. And if you've listened to me or followed me at all, we've talked about manifestation, you know, about planting that seed. And it takes a while for it to germinate and to grow and to start coming through the surface and coming through the soil, right? And for me personally, I planted those seeds a long time ago. You know, some of them have been brewing for a year, 2 years, and now they are up, sprouted through, and reaching for the sun. So be patient. It all takes a little bit of time. And, you know, our little human ways, we want everything to happen now. And sometimes it's really hard for us to be patient. So be gentle on yourselves, be patient, take a big sigh of relief as we transfer into a new season of Gemini and leaving Mercury retrograde behind, because I think we're in for a little bit easier month, a little bit easier flow from what I've been reading on the astrological reports. So there you go. I hope that's been helpful for you. And I hope the card resonated for all of you as well as you're going through your own transformations. All right. Right now, we are going to head to the phone lines, and we have Nancy in Venice, Florida. Good evening, Nancy, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hello.
Hi. What can I do for you this evening?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better now that I'm talking to you.
Oh, thank you. So what can I do for you this evening?
Yes, I just wondered if there was any message for my husband who passed a year ago this month, and what my future is going to be like, if I'll ever find happiness again.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me just take a moment here and tap in. And, you know, first off, I just want to say I'm very sorry for your loss. I know that first year can seem like an eternity sometimes. So let me check in and see what I can find out. And then I'll be right back with you. There'll be just a little bit of silence here as I tune in. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Nancy. So I am feeling your husband. He's got a very soft demeanor. I had to really kind of tune in because he came in very quietly, very, very softly. It doesn't feel like he was a very like abrupt or forward kind of person in his living years. You two had a very special relationship. I feel this outpouring of love for you and for what the two of you had. And I just feel so calm and I feel so at peace. And so that's a message coming from him to you. He wants you to know that he's very much at peace, and he's calm. And
good.
Yeah.
He was sick, and I took care of him until the end.
Yeah, there is a huge amount of gratitude. It's like he's showing me a picture of his hands over the top of his heart, right? Like there's so much love, so much gratitude. And he just wants you to know how grateful he was that, that you helped him through all of that, that you were there with him, during those, those weeks, that he was here on earth. And just, he's so loving, so gracious.
I really, truly believe that he was my soulmate. I met him when I was very young, and he was 20 years older than I.
Yeah,
And
we
were, go ahead.
No, please do, go ahead.
We were separated for like 25 years, but still kept in touch, and finally got together and got married and had the last 11 years together. Our love had never died, even through the separation.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Have you been feeling him around you? Like, have you felt his presence around? Because he's very present. He's very present with you.
I have been trying, but I think because I'm just so sad that I'm not connecting with him.
Yes.
I try and I talk to him, and I try to bring him forward to feel him. Though I did ask for a sign for him to send me a cardinal, and the next day a cardinal came flying up into my yard right outside my bedroom window.
I love it. I love it. Our loved ones often show up as animals, right? Being in the spirit and the energy of the animals. And I love that story. And yes, most definitely, he's sending you messages that he wants you to know that he's around, that he's protecting you, that he is. It's like this feeling of him with his arms kind of around you, like, like he's putting a big cover over the top of you, like a little bubble, right? This little bubble of protection around you, that he just wants to keep you safe. And, he knows how much that you're hurting, and he's so sorry for that. It's so hard to have that separation, right? But as you go through your grieving period, and as you get through that, you'll be able to feel his presence more and more. So keep asking for those signs. Keep asking to be shown that he's present with you, okay? Because he's always going to show up.
Oh my gosh, I will. Just knowing that he's around makes me feel better. I just want to, I know he wouldn't want me to be so sad. And I'm trying to get out of that place where I'm at, and to connect to him more.
Yeah. And it's tough. And you have to be gentle with yourself, and be okay in the space and place that you're in, and be okay with, look, I'm grieving right now, and I understand that, and that this is not going to be forever, right? But the more that you can be okay with that, the more you will be able to release, the more you will be able to go through those emotions and go through those processes, because it really is very important for us to go through those processes and not cut ourselves short because it's like, oh, it's been a year, I've got to move on, it's been that year, and people have to understand there's really no timeline on the grieving process. And as
I don't think people understand.
No, they don't, unless they've gone through a large, a big loss. It's a little hard for them to understand. And he's showing me that he wants you to move on. He wants you to continue your life and find somebody and be happy. And he'll still be around. He'll still be around to, watch over you and take care of you. I feel like he's going to bring somebody into your life. And it feels like somebody you know already. So
I can't imagine who it could be. But that's kind of what I wanted to know as well, if I'll ever feel the joy again or ever have another true love.
yeah, you will. He's showing me that you will, that you deserve to have that in your life and deserve to be happy.
Oh my gosh, yes, and he was very protective in life as well over me.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, you guys really did have something very special and very, very beautiful.
Yes,
So,
I miss it so much.
I know. I can feel that. I really can. Yeah.
It just seems like there'll never be the happiness in life anymore.
I understand that completely. Yeah.
But I am trying because I know he would want me to.
Right. Right. You will. You will find that happiness.
Talking to him.
Yeah, you will. You will find that happiness. Okay. You just have to give yourself a little bit of time. Okay. And, you know, celebrate your victories, celebrate the days that you get up and you feel good, right? Because every day it's going to get more and more and more until every day you start waking up and that feeling of sadness, that feeling of loss will become diminished. I'm not going to say it's ever, it may not ever really go away, but it will be diminished, and it'll be in a way that you are able to go through life and be able to find the happiness again.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
That is definitely good to hear. And you described him perfectly.
Well, thank you. Yes, he's a beautiful soul. He really is.
Oh, I'm so glad. He was scared of passing. So
right.
I'm glad that he's comfortable. He was scared to death, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I tried to talk to him, about it and to say that we never really die. But he didn't know what was on the other side.
Right. Right. Well, he appreciates the fact that you were there with him and that you helped him through that.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
You are so very welcome. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
I will. And thank you again.
You're so welcome. All right. Next, we have Nicole in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Good evening, Nicole, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can. What can we do for you this evening?
I just would like to receive whatever messages you have for me from the other side. Whatever you're supposed to do, I would greatly appreciate.
Okay, you kind of cut out there a little bit. Are you just wanting a general reading?
Yes, just a general reading would be great.
Okay, perfect. Well, let me just take a moment here to tune in and see what your loved ones have to say, and I'll be right back with you. And during this time, there'll just be a little moment of silence as I tune in, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Nicole. So the first thing that was coming through is I just heard big, bright, shining star. That this is you, that you are like the big, bright, shining star in the sky. Um, you you just bring so much brightness and joy and love to all of those who come in contact with you. And they're showing me like you have these really broad shoulders, like you can carry some of the biggest weight. And it feels like that you've been carrying around a lot of weight, and maybe some of it that's not even, some of the worry or um, the uncertainty, and a lot of it isn't yours. And I don't know if you realize that. Um,
Yeah,
and
I do realize it, and I'm trying to get better at differentiating my energy from other people's energies.
Okay, good. So something that you can do is if you feel like, you know, whatever you're feeling is not yours, right? Because I get that you're very in tune. You're very in tune with yourself and your body, and you know when something isn't right or that you're not feeling quite right. And that is going to be your first indicator of, okay, this isn't mine. So simply say, thank you for showing me this. Return to sender with love. Okay. And what that does is that's going to release it from you. It's going to release it and send it back to where it came from in a very loving way, not in a malicious, bad way. But then that way it's no longer yours. It's not, it wasn't really even yours to begin with or to carry, right? Um, so knowing that, you can kind of help regulate some of those areas, because you are a huge empath, and you can feel the energy around you, and you're very in tune. You have a very keen intuition, and so trust your gut. You've got a good guidance system going, and they're showing me that you do. All right. You don't always follow through with it because you don't know if that's really your intuition talking, or if it's just some fleeting thought. So
Yes.
yeah. So when that happens, just sit with it sit with that. And you can always ask, is this mine? Is this my intuition speaking to me? And you're going to get a feeling um, of, yeah, this is your guidance system, right? And so then follow through with it, right?
Okay.
Let's see, what else are they
Thank
telling
you
me?
for
Hold
that,
on.
because I needed that reminder.
Yeah, yeah. They're showing me that you're such a giver, you're such a helper, right? You want to be there for
Yeah.
people, you want to support them. And sometimes you have to remember that you need support sometimes as much as the other person. And so letting somebody help you is the art of receiving. Okay.
Wow.
So sometimes we need to be able to receive in order to give. And I know for a lot of us who are empaths and who are givers, it's a really hard concept to do. Um, but this is something that you really need to make into even what I would call a spiritual practice. Okay. Um, because you will empty your tank, you will get burned out, and so you need to be able to receive and um, and receive openly. Okay. And as you do more of that, then you will have more to give and more to help.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
It's funny you say that. I need to work on like receiving. My sister just gifted me a new car. It's a new to me used car, but worth a lot of money, and it was really, really hard for me to accept it.
Yes.
So
Even
thank you for the message of accepting it fully. I appreciate it.
Yeah, even the smallest things like a compliment, right? Um, I know even for me, that's hard, right? Someone will give you a compliment and you'll be like, oh, well, this or that, or, you always want to make some excuse or, you want to make it different than what it is, right? And the simplest way to be able to receive is to simply say thank you. Okay.
Yep.
So that's gonna be a big one for you as well. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome, Nicole. We're coming down to the last few seconds of our show, so I want to say thank you so much for calling in. I hope this has been helpful for you.
Very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Mm-hmm.
You are so welcome. Enjoy your evening, and thank you for calling in.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that does it for me. Here we are, 1st of June. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. If you would like to reach out to me and have a personal reading or even group readings, reach me at www.wingsofsoulswithjulie.com, or you can reach me on my 2 Facebook pages, Julie YeagerWalker Medium or Your Time to Shine. Have a great week, everybody, and I will see you again next week.